So we were discussing about our unit 6 of automation in production, computer aided process planning and computer aided quality control. So we have already covered computer aided process planning, that is retrieval and generative CAPP system, benefits of CAPP, and then we started with our discussion on computer aided quality control. It is use of computers in quality control, offline and online inspection, and we have just started our discussion on shop floor control. And we shall be covering today contact and non-contact inspection types, optical and non-optical inspection methods. And as per your syllabus, it has been asked to prominently cover coordinate measuring machines and machine vision. Okay. So let us recap what we discussed yesterday. So we have discussed yesterday this manual experience based process planning, then computer aided process planning, then approaches of computer aided process planning, retrieval for variant type of computer aided process planning, CAPP or generative CAPP. Then we discussed about which to use. So which would you recommend to the industry, in which situation, in what condition industry should go for either variant or retrieval type or generative type of CAPP. And we have seen benefits of CAPP. These benefits are being seen like what it increases and what it reduces, like whether it reduces the lead time or whether it increases the productivity. Like that, the benefits of CAPP are being discussed, right? So now let us see what we started our discussion on this computer aided quality control. We started our discussion on use of computers in quality control, then objectives of computer aided quality control, advantages of computer aided quality control, CAQC, offline and online inspection, and we started our discussion on shop floor control, that is three phases of shop floor control. We have already started our discussion, that is order release, order progress and order scheduling. Then we shall be discussing non-contact and contact type of inspection technique. Then we shall be discussing non-optical and optical inspection methods, coordinate measuring machines and machine vision. So I will just brief out what we discussed yesterday so that you have a continuity in our discussion. Use of computers in quality control. The use of computers for quality control is nothing but computer aided quality control. So what are the two major parts of quality control? Inspection and testing. So we have discussed two major parts of computer aided quality control, that is computer aided inspection and computer aided testing. Then we have discussed objectives of computer aided quality control, that is main objectives of CAQC are to improve the quality of the product, increase the productivity in the inspection process and reduce the lead times in manufacturing. Because unless and until you know the objective and the benefits, you cannot implement or you cannot convince the company to go for implementation of CAQC. Advantages of CAQC, the most important thing which we must understand before we go for implementation of CAQC. 100% testing and inspection can be done with the help of CAQC. Manually, it is not possible. Manually or the traditional manual process, we go for sampling inspection wherein we take few samples and then we test or inspect those few samples and then we convey our decision on the basis of that sampling result. But with CAQC, we can go for 100% inspection. Then inspection can be integrated with manufacturing process, which is possible only with CAQC. With traditional process, we have to take away this sample, go to quality control room and inspect and then take the decision. So there is a gap, time lag in inspection and the manufacturing decision. So use of non-contact sensors is possible in CAQC because in traditional process we generally handle the product or the part to be inspected, wherein in CAQC we have the option to use even non-contact type of sensors also. Then computerized feedback control system is possible in CAQC, and we can have the corrections automatically. We don't have to bother also. Once the deviation is being found, so the adjustment will be done like it is done in adaptive control system. In your unit 2, you have discussed with your numerical control technology, that is adaptive control. Then the fifth advantage is CAQC can be integrated with other main functions of the manufacturing, that is computer aided design and computer aided manufacturing. So apart from inspection and testing, computers are used in number of other areas, and we need to have the integration with those areas also, like CAD, CAM, CAPP, then group technology or business functions like that. Now we started our discussion on offline and online inspection. Offline, the word itself tells you that it is performed away from the manufacturing process. You can see here manufacturing process is here. From here the sample is taken and it is taken in the quality control room, and the inspection and testing is being done, and then the decision to accept or reject is taken. Whereas online inspection is done as an integral step of the manufacturing process. If it is the integral step of the manufacturing process and it is done during the manufacturing, then it is online in process inspection. Online in process inspection. And if it is done just immediately after the processing, then it is online post process inspection, right? So we have discussed this also, online in process inspection, wherein you can see incoming parts, and this is the manufacturing area, this is the inspection square box. So you can see here itself the feedback data is being given and output units are there, right? And in online post-process inspection, you can see here, this is the process. Immediately after the completion of the process, inspection station is there. And here the inspection would be done and immediately the feedback would be given to the manufacturing process. And then the part sortation would be done, either defective or acceptable units. Then we started our discussion on shop floor control, which is the most important function of any industry, because most of the productive work, basically the production operations, the production activity is being done on the shop floor, and shop floor supervisor, shop floor manager, shop floor workers, they are handling this work. So what are the functions of shop floor control? Scheduling, dispatching, follow up, provide output data, and provide the efficiency, how much efficiency we have got. Now we have started our discussion on phases of shop floor control. Three important phases are there of shop floor control. First phase of shop floor control is order release phase. So it provides the documentation needed to process a production order through factory. So we are releasing the order that yes, we need to produce these many parts or in this quantity, this is the date and like that. So we release the order basically. Then second phase of shop floor control is order scheduling phase, wherein it executes the dispatching function in production planning and control, PPC. So two important elements of order scheduling are machine loading and job sequencing, because job sequencing is very, very important. Which part needs to be loaded and how it should be decided. So some rules are there. It is very common sense rules are there. Shortest operating time, earliest due date. Basically, if you want to dispatch that part early, you must start it early. Otherwise, you will not be able to complete those parts, and other parts, if you load on the machine which you wanted to, you have to dispatch it later at later date. So you should see to it that you do it on this aspect. Earliest due date is very important. Then sometimes some people go with first come first serve, last come last serve, and like that. Then order progress phase. Once the order is released, it is scheduled. You must see to it that progress is being made properly. So here we are monitoring the status of the progress, basically, that how many parts are being produced, how many parts are there in work in progress, then whether any difficulty is there, whether we will be able to meet the deadline or not, whether we need to increase the capacity, whether we need to add on some workers to increase the speed, or the work which is going on is satisfactory, and like that. So we collect the information on that progress in various report format: work order status report, progress report, exception report, and like that. So these are the three most important phases of shop floor control. What? First phase is order release phase, second phase is order scheduling phase, and third phase is order progress phase. Now, factory data collection system, where this your inspection, computer quality control will play a vital role. So several data collection techniques used to collect data from the shop floor. These techniques require the employees to gather the data. Either this way you can go, or the data are gathered on a fully automated system that requires no human participation. So directly the information is passed on, or sometimes the employee will feed the data in the computer from taking the data there itself. So we need to discuss the various types of data collected by factory data collection system. So FDC, factory data collection system, list number of parts that are scrapped, list number of parts requiring rework, equipment downtime, time taken at each work center, labor time in each work order, and likewise. Now, types of data collection system. One is the online data collection system. The data are entered directly into the plant computer system and are immediately available to the order progress people. So they will immediately see that. Offline data collection system is what? The data are collected temporarily in a storage device to be entered and processed by plant computer in a batch manner, batch mode. Sometimes it is collected on a piece of paper also, and then it is being fed into the plant computer. Now, automatic identification method. It refers to various technologies used in automatic or semi-automatic acquisition of product data entry into a computer system. You might have seen when you visited Super Bazaar, in Super Bazaar or in many shops, the barcode is there on the product. So what they do, they have the laser scanner with them. So they will just take the part in their left hand, and in right hand they will have the scanner, and they will just put that scanner onto that barcode, and they will get the entry being done in the billing. So this way they can reduce their time in entering manual entry, and the sometimes entering hurriedly you may commit the mistake also. So automatic identification methods are very popular, and they must be used whenever it is uh, economical. Basically, you should be able to justify their investment. So people are going for this automatic identification method. So what are the basic components of automatic identification method is? First one is encoded data. So barcode data is being encoded. People are not able to see by their eyes. Can you able to identify what is there in that barcode? No. So it is a encoded data. Then second component is machine reader or the scanner. That is capable enough to decode that data, read that data. So third component is decoder. Once they read the data, the decoder decodes that data, what was there in the barcode or the encoded script, like the quantity of that product, or the price, or like that. Types of automated identification technology: barcodes, then radio frequency system, that is RFID. Magnetic strips are being used, like earlier in our this our ATM, smart cards, magnetic strip was being used, optical character recognition, machine vision, right? Now let us discuss what is contact and non-contact inspection technique. The word itself suggests you the difference. Contact means there is a contact made between physical contact made between the object or the part and the measuring device or the gauge. So, so in contact type of inspection, physical contact is being made between the object and the measuring or instrument, measuring gauge or the gauging instrument, right? Wherein in non-contact inspection, no contact is being made, no physical contact is being made. They are little distance apart and the readings are being taken or the information is being taken. So one is contact type of inspection techniques and another is non-contact type of inspection technique. So let us discuss each one in detail. Contact inspection technique. In contact inspection, physical contact is being made between the object to be inspected and the measurement device. Typically, contact is achieved using a mechanical probe or other device that touches the atom or the part or the object of which we want to measure some parameter and allows the inspection procedure to occur. So principal contact inspection technologies are conventional measuring instruments like vernier caliper, screw gauge, vernier height gauge, or some gauging instruments like go, no go gauge, snap gauges, right? Then coordinate measuring machine, CMM. CMM has the probe mounted on the mechanical structure, and that mechanical structure is being moved with the help of some drive system. So that probe touches the part, and hence it comes under contact type of inspection system. Wherein the machine vision has the video camera. It takes the image from some distance, and that image is being analyzed, and then the decisions or the actions are being taken up. So stylus type surface structure measuring machines are also the contact type of inspection to measure surface characteristics such as roughness and waviness, electrical contact probes for testing integrated circuits and printed circuit boards. So these are contact inspection techniques. We will discuss one or two contact type of inspection technologies. Then non-contact inspection techniques. So in non-contact inspection techniques, there is no physical contact made between part and the measuring instrument. So non-contact inspection techniques use sensors instead of a mechanized probe favored by contact inspection methodologies. The sensor is located at a certain distance from the object to be made to measure or gauge the desired features of the object. These desired features may be dimensions, may be surface finish, may be cracks being developed in the surface, or other features being desired to be inspected or tested before the finally the product is being dispatched. Non-contact inspection techniques use a sensor to measure or gauge the desired features of the object. Optical and non-optical inspection. There are two categories of non-contact inspection technologies: optical inspections and non-optical inspections. The word itself you will suggest you optical use light. They use the light, and non-optical uses other than light techniques other than light. So you can see here optical inspection technologies, they use light to accomplish the measurement or gauging cycle. The most important technique is machine vision. We shall be discussing that. Then non-optical inspection technologies other than light. So these use other forms of energy than light to perform the inspection. Like you have learned so many techniques to even inspect the casting defects also. In inspecting the casting, you have used various techniques, right? So you have X-rays, radiation technique. So radiation technique is there. Then electrical fields are there. That also you can use, which generates a magnetic field, and then you can comment on the part features. Then ultrasonic sound. So sound, radiation, and electrical field are the various energies that those are utilized for doing the inspection. They come under non-optical type of inspection technologies. Now, advantages of non-contact inspection techniques over a contact inspection technique. They avoid possible surface damage that can be caused upon contact. Inspection cycle times are faster as the contact probe must be repositioned for each new part inspected, while the non-contact sensors remains stationary because there was no touch being made, and hence there is no position disturbance, and hence that is possible that the position remains the same, so inspection cycle times are faster. Parts handling is lower with non-contact type of inspection than the contact inspection, as parts in the latter methodology usually require special handling and adjustment so that inspection can occur, and it allows for the possibility of 100% automated inspection due to the reasons which are discussed just now. Now we'll discuss non-contact, non-optical inspection, electrical fields. An electrically active probe creates an electrical field which is affected by the proximity of an object to the probe. So the object is being kept just near the probe, means it is not touching, but it is in the close vicinity of that probe. In typical applications, the object to be inspected is placed at a set proximity to the probe, and the effect on the electrical field is measured. This procedure is repeated at different distances from the probe, and results are compared with against each other to complete the inspection procedure. So already the calibration of that electrical field is already being fed into the instrument, and you get your desired feature directly. Then non-contact, non-optical inspection, radiation type, which uses radiation. So it uses X-ray radiation to accomplish non-contact inspection on metals and weld fabricated products. So the amount of radiation absorbed by the metal is being measured and compared against the standard which is being already fed into the radiation device, radiation inspection device. So this allows metals that do not absorb sufficient amounts of radiation to be quickly spotted as flawed, or they are showing some deviation from the desirable features which we want to measure. Non-contact, non-optical inspections, ultrasonics. It uses very high frequency sound as an inspection mechanism. Methods can be either manually performed or performed automatically. So automated methods include emitting ultrasonic waves from a probe and reflecting them off the object and to be inspected to create a sound pattern, and this sound pattern is then compared with the standard sound pattern which is being produced by an ideal object for inspection purpose, and they are compared that the sound pattern produced by an ideal object is being already available in the inspection device, and it is being compared, and then the deviation is being shown to understand the part feature, right? So if the produced sound pattern matches the standard pattern, the object passes the test, otherwise it fails. Then now we'll start our discussion with optical inspection methods. We have discussed non-optical type of inspection methods wherein electrical field, radiation, and ultrasonics are being discussed. In optical inspection methods, lasers metrology we will see. Here the light beam is being used. Laser light beam is highly monochromatic. Basically, the light has a single wavelength. Mono means single. Highly collimated, the light rays are parallel. These properties have motivated many applications in measurement and inspection. First is monochromatic and another is highly collimated. That is very important property of lasers, and hence lasers are being used in inspection technology. So we'll discuss one of the instruments, scanning laser system. Here you can see laser beam deflected by a rotating mirror to sweeps a beam of light past an object which is being kept on the other side. We'll see that figure. Photo detector on farther side of the object senses the light beam during its sweep, except for the short time while it is being interrupted by the object. Now let us see here. You can see here a laser is there. Laser is emitting the light. Here the rotating mirror is there. It is deviating this, right, deflecting those light, and it is going parallel, right? It's going parallel. So this is the collecting lens. After collecting, it is pointing out here a photo detector is there on the other side, and this is the part to be measured. And this is the collecting lens, and on other side of the collecting lens, you have a photo detector, right? So this photo detector uh, senses that this light laser beam which is being, and then the signal processing microprocessor will interpret the result, either part size or whatever we want to measure, right? So a microprocessor system, the time interruption related to the size of the object measured in the path of the laser and converts it into a linear dimension, right? Now let us discuss coordinate measuring machines, CMM, right? Coordinate metrology is concerned with the measurement of actual shape and dimension of an object and comparing these with the desired shape and dimension. In this connection, coordinate metrology consists of the evaluation of the location. You can see location, orientation, dimensions, and geometry of the part or object. A coordinate measuring machine, the name itself says that it measures coordinates and many coordinates, so that those many coordinates together gives you the idea about the part. So coordinate measuring machine is an electromechanical system designed to perform coordinate metrology. Let us see this figure here. You can see here the most important component is probe. This is the probe. This is probe head. So you can see first is probe head and probe. Then second is mechanical structure, on which this is the mechanical structure complete, on which the probe is being mounted. And then this mechanical structure, you can see X, you can see here, this can be moved like this, or this can be moved in this direction, X1, and this can be moved up and down, that is Z direction. So X, Y, Z, you can have the three-dimensional movement. And here you can see on this table what part would be mounted. It would be placed on this work table. So a CMM consists of a constant probe that can be positioned, and these results are being connected with the computer system, and this computer system interprets that result, and even it stores for further, so that we can use those coordinates further also, and even we can transfer through computer to various other software devices. So a CMM consists of a constant probe that can be positioned in three-dimensional space relative to the surface of a work part, and the x, y, z coordinates of the probe can be accurately and precisely recorded to obtain dimensional data concerning the part geometry. Components are probe head and probe. We have already seen this probe and probe head. Mechanical structure also we have seen. Displacement transducers, basically these displacement transducers are used to convert that our part which we have sensed, the position of the part which we have sensed, and the drive system to drive the mechanical structure basically. Now you can see the types of CMM based on the mechanical structure. Here you can see it is just like a cantilever system, and this is the probe. You can see X movement, Y movement, and Z movement. This is the moving bridge type. It is a bridge type of structure. You can see Y movement, Z movement, and X movement, and this is the probe being mounted. Now this is the fixed bridge type of system. Here bridge is not movable. Basically here you can see in moving bridge, here X movement, the complete bridge is being moved. This complete bridge is being moved, but here work table is being moved. The fixture which is on which the work part is mounted is being moved. Other things are remaining same. Then you can see here horizontal arm, which is very simple in nature. Then here gantry type of structure, even gantry cranes, from that this type of structure is being thought of. So here also you can see X, Y, Z movement, gantry type of the column type of system. Even we have column type of drilling machines and other machine structures also. So column type of structure is being there for the. So these mechanical structures, basically on that mechanical structure, probe is being mounted basically, right? So these are the various types of CMM based on the mechanical structure. Cantilever, moving bridge, fixed bridge. In fixed bridge, bridge will not be moved. Horizontal arm, gantry and column. Now methods of operating and controlling CMM. First is manual drive. The human operator physically moves the probe along the machine axis X, Y, Z to make part contact and take the inspection measurement. Manual drive with computer assisted data processing. Again, the human operator physically moves the probe along the machine axis to make the part contact. But additionally, you have a data processing and computational capabilities for performing the calculations required to evaluate a given part feature. Motor drive with computer assisted data processing. Here motor drive is there. So manual, that is human operator physically moving the probe, is being replaced by motor drive. So probe is driven by means of an electric motor. Then other than that, data processing and computational capabilities is already available, computer assisted data processing. And direct computer control, that means it is based on the numerical control technology, and hence this type of CMM operates just like a CNC machine tool, new computer numerical control machine tool. And the movements of the probe are accomplished by a motor under the program control of a dedicated computer. So stepper motors are being used, or DC servo motors are being used in this case, direct computer control with computer assisted data processing. Now advantages of CMM: higher productivity. A CMM can perform complex inspection procedures in much less time than traditional manual methods. Then greater inherent accuracy and precision than conventional methods, because the probe is being mounted on the mechanical structure which is heavy in nature, so probe doesn't deviate much, and hence accuracy and precision is much more. Then reduced human error, because least human intervention is there. Versatility, basically CMM is a general purpose machine that can be used to inspect variety of part configuration. That is the most important feature of CMM. Now let us discuss the optical type of inspection system. We have seen that we have to discuss optical and non-optical type of inspection system. So machine vision comes under optical inspection system. So here, if you compare with your human vision, eye is there, eye which senses the image. Once we see something, we sense that image, and then brain analyzes this information, interprets and takes the action or decision. Similarly, in machine vision also, for sensing the image, there is a camera. You can see here camera is there, video camera is there, light source are being just available here to see to it that the parts are properly exposed. There is no darkness there. So that the parts are properly exposed to the camera. So here image acquisition is there, and after acquisition of the image, digitization is there. Then after digitization, image processing is there. Then analysis is being done with the help of algorithm, and then the interpretation based on the analysis, and the decisions are taken. Let us see these three important steps one by one. Image acquisition system: capture of image by video camera and dividing it into a very small elements called pixel. Digitization system, it stores the image data for subsequent analysis. Then second step is image processing and analysis. It involves segmentation, that is edge location and thresholding. Either it is segmentation or edge location or thresholding. Edge location is determining location of boundaries of the object basically, right? Boundaries is edge location. Thresholding, conversion of each pixel level into a binary value. Binary value is like in the form of 0 or 1. Here darkness and brightness. So black spot and bright spot, means black spot is there or the light spot is there. So third is interpretation. It is concerned with recognizing the object or pattern recognition. To identify the object and comparing with the predefined models in the system. Now, applications of machine vision. Measurement, that is most important application. Purpose of the vision system is to measure physical dimension of the object. Second is counting. It means look for number of parts or number of features on a part. Location, used to report the location and orientation of the parts. Decoding, which is used in factory data collection, that is identification system. So automatic identification system, there we have seen that machine vision was also there along with RFID, barcode, this optical scanner or like that. So it is an identification application in which vision system reads various codes and alphanumeric characters and decodes to get the product feature. So these are the most important applications of machine vision. Then advantages of machine vision. Machine vision system works faster than manual system. It is consistent. It performs beyond human vision. Highly repeatable in controlled environment. No fatigue is there because it is machine. So we can use it for 24/7. It is reliable, good for unsafe and hazardous environment where people cannot go, and it is undesirable that the human worker should go to do the measurement. Operate well in space constraints environments also, right? So this completes with the advantages of machine vision, and this completes with the major portion of our CAQC.